All right, big news. Instagram is rolling out a new feature. They're testing it right now where people can rearrange the tiles on their profile. My name is Kip Russell, Director of Social Media at Tech, an advertising agency that works with some of the biggest brands in the world. I'm also an influencer myself with over 700,000 social media followers. Been doing this since the MySpace days. Needless to say, I live and breathe this stuff. I want to share with you guys the biggest headlines, the stuff that I'm paying attention to as a social media director with over 10 years experience in the business. So story number one is Instagram testing a new option which will enable users to rearrange the post display on their profile. And this is a really big news. I think Facebook historically has bad experience on user public brand pages, but at least you can pin a post to give people a place to focus on your most important content. And I think Instagram, most people go to Instagram almost over a website to get an understanding of a brand. So this is a great way, one, for you to correct mistakes or arrange things in a grid. Two, to pin posts to the top of your page to prioritize what people see. And I think platforms like TikTok and Twitter and Facebook have had features like this, but Instagram has not. I think this is going to be really important as people are trying to focus people on certain content, or if you're driving ads, the first few posts are actually really crucial to what people see. And sometimes you don't really want those to change, and the rest of the grid can be different, but maybe the first few are super important. Just focuses attention and allows you to prioritize messaging. So I think this is long overdue, and I think the grid and be able to move the puzzle is pretty cool. And I think that's going to be a nice feature, and really it's going to help social media managers across the world if they make mistakes or actually want to organize things into that nice pattern grid, which is a great strategy on Instagram. So big news number one. Second headline I want to talk about today is Twitter's coming NFT profile display. So if you haven't seen this, and you can check out the full article on Social Media Today, Twitter is testing NFT profile pictures. So if you aren't paying attention to crypto and NFT and everything going on in the space, Twitter's really been a big place where a lot of that conversation is happening. They're also jumping into Discord. There's lots of things around NFTs going on there. So I think why this is interesting is Twitter's making a move to capitalize on a niche that I think is important to the platform. And also lots of brands are getting into the space, and it can be a primary place to drive people to an NFT to actually drive monetization, awareness, et cetera, et cetera. It's also going to stand out compared to other profiles. It's going to be an octagon versus the normal circle profile. So it's going to allow you to get a little bit different little consumption within the newsfeed. As people scroll by your content, they see that you have an octagon. It's going to attract NFT users, and it's just another way to stick out in the timeline. I think lots of brands, I think even Walmart, right, is going to get into NFT space soon. And I think it's just important that they're doubling down on a niche that's really driving a lot of discourse on their platform. So big headline right there. If you're a brand or a small business or into the NFT space, you should be checking on this, submitting to try to maybe get in the beta part of this, or following users that actually have this function to see what's going on, what the updates are. Another area where I think is undervalued right now is long form video. Whether you're running ads on YouTube or upper funnel on Facebook or even prospecting, you need to be thinking about longer storytelling. People are consuming video on the platforms. We've had that conversation around TikTok, et cetera, et cetera. Short, sure, it still works. 15 seconds maybe is a sweet spot for some ads, but if you need to explain something or you want to give a piece of content as an ad, can often be a better placement and convert better down the line when you're giving people more trust, more information, more access. Sometimes telling that longer story is a better play than just trying to quickly hit them. People have a long attention span if it's interested to them. So if someone consumes your video, that's maybe a minute or 3 minutes or 4 minutes, a piece of content, that's showing a lot of intent and interest, probably way more than someone who watches a 15-second video. I think some of the best YouTube ads I've seen in a long time are just pieces of content that educate me on what they're selling, the service, the product, etc. So experiment with long form video. I've seen some great results for some of our clients, including in the e-commerce space. So test that upper funnel and prospecting stuff with long form, informative access that can have a lot more meat on the bone. Probably the most important thing I want to talk about on this video here is the new rise of what I'm calling analytic platforms that support the loss of iOS 14 data. So I've recently been really trying to test and demo these. Going to start up with Surge here. That's SIRGE.io. Also Hydro is another one that I'm hearing about. I've even heard Wicked Reports. With the loss of data from iOS 14 update, new data tracking things are helping bridge that gap, or at least help tell the fuller story. So people in the e-commerce space specifically, I would check out these options that I just mentioned below. Comment below if you need the links. This is going to be really important and crucial to e-com brands and different brands, and even lead gen down the line. If you're losing that conversion data, you still want to report on it, and it is happening, but you're losing it in the reporting and not getting the credit for it. So Surgery is essentially almost like a GA directly focused on only the attribution between Facebook ads and e-com brands right now. And while there's limitations, this is a new space. I think attribution overall and reporting is going to be extra crucial for all digital platforms moving forward. So I'm excited to see that there's some solutions out there, and these solutions, some of the ones I'm talking about, are actually created by people in our space, media buyers, etc. So data, attribution, tracking, helping bridge the gap, super crucial. So check out those sites. Those are the 4 headlines that I'm focused on this week. Let me know if you're seeing something in the comments below. I love your feedback, whatever you can do on this video to share if this is interesting and compelling content for you. Thanks.